Wow. Huh. And there you have it, my friends. If we, you see, there's quite a lot of wine in there. I'll try and tip a little bit out. I'll swill it around so you can see. Basically what there are tiny hair-like fibres that seem to clump together. Let's tip a little bit out. I had a bit too much in there. Right, let's have a look at this. So what we've got here is, this is absolutely drawn out of my tongue and from the roof of my mouth. It's quite alarming, isn't it? It's incredible, really. It's a shame because I really like my drinking my red wine. You know, it gives me a chance to relax. But if you swill it for long enough, you will see this. The nanoparticles are so small, you can see with your naked eye that they are tiny little hair-like structures. I don't think the camera's sufficient to really focus in and bring out that resolution for you to understand that they're actually hair-like structures, and they're all clumped together. You see, they clump together, and in actual fact, they tend to. I've watched this, and they tend to move. They move on their own, you know. I would say, please do this red wine test. Go to the Carnicom Institute and get some more information about Morgellons. Morgellons is linked to the aerosol spraying, which is chemtrails, which is geoengineering, which all the governments deny is going on, but in actual fact it is going on, and there's quite a lot of evidence to support that. We have rainwater analysis that proves there is excessively higher above safe levels of aluminium oxide, of barium, strontium, of arsenic, of chromium, cadmium, iron, and various other metals actually. And there are known to be other pathogens as well as nanoparticles. Now, you've got to do this test for yourself at home, my friends. Be brave. It's not a nice task to have to do this, but if you do this, you'll start to realise there's something going on. Now, the amazing thing is, right, there's no wind at the moment. We're outside in the garden, and these things are moving by themselves. You should do this at home, my friends. Get some red wine, swill it around, hold it for 20 to 30 seconds, spit it out in a nice clean white bowl so you can see very clearly, and wow, you will be shocked. It's quite horrible, really. It is very horrible, actually. If this test is conclusive, I would like to actually have these tested now. I would like to have these tested in the laboratory. I will investigate to see if I can manage to get these tested to confirm what is in them. But basically, this is no sediment from the wine, nothing from my teeth. This is just pure something that's been sucked out of my tongue by the wine. It's been drawn out. Apparently the acid in the wine draws out these nanoparticles, and it's quite amazing. I would highly recommend everybody does this test for themselves and just observe what actually happens to the particles. They're moving ever so slightly all by themselves. Take care, my friends. Gather verifiable facts. It is quite frightening coming to terms with the fact that the establishment are working complicitly against us. They officially deny that geoengineering is taking place now. They're doing all the studies because they're thinking about it, so all the scientific stuff is there. What we have found is rainwater has proved that stuff's coming from the sky that's supposed to be in geoengineering. And when you do the...
Well, that was from Mr. Max Bliss, somewhere in the YouTube universe. Thank you, Mr. Bliss. Now, with me today, I have A.J. Nicholas, who's going to help us repeat this. What have you been doing since you came back from Los Angeles and the Hollywood actor screen and all that kind of stuff, Mr. A.J. Nicholas?
Thanks for the question, Dad. I had a great time in Los Angeles, actually. Got to be a movie extra. I worked with a lot of different people. I've talked to Adam Sandler and a number of other actors. Just had a really great time. I loved all the people that I worked with. Decided to move home to recoup and take a rest and recovery period, and I thank you for having me here today.
How did you get in that advertisement with that new young songstress? You were walking in the very beginning, and I said, what was her name?
You're thinking of Miley Cyrus's music video, Can't Be Tamed.
How did you get picked get to be right in the beginning of that?
Just time and perseverance. One day a director will just finally like what you're doing long enough, if you're doing it well enough and persistent enough and kindly enough, and they'll just say, hey, we'd like to put you in front of the camera. Eventually it happens. Time and persistence pays. If you're an actor out there in Los Angeles and you're exhausted, just keep doing what you're doing, but make it good, make it better. Always strive to be better the next day. If you're not helping people out, is starting with yourself. I think you're doing the world a disservice. So it's either one way or the other. You're either getting better or getting worse. So
okay, well,
that's
let's get better. What we got A.J. Nicholas here for today.
Right.
Is I noticed in Mr. Bliss did not do a control sample. He did not do a control sample, and he should have. So we're going to repeat this, and I don't know if we'll get the same result. This is live on television on Friday night. So we're going to ask young A.J. Nicholas here to rinse his mouth with water. He's already brushed his teeth. So he's going to rinse his water and spit it out. The idea is to get your palate and your mouth as clean as possible. So anything residual in there is out. So I don't know if you can get this on camera.
Cut to me for a second, please.
Camera 1.
So cut to me for a second. I just spit out the water that I was sipping, so my mouth is clean. By the way, I do have a little tooth decay, actually. I had some of this wine earlier, and it killed the pain from the tooth decay. And on that note, I just briefly want to talk about oil pulling. If you're suffering from pain in your mouth from any misdoings or not taking care of your own health well enough, get a jar of coconut oil. I recommend getting it from your local health food store. When you get the coconut oil, it should be in a solid form, not a liquid form. You scoop it, put it in your mouth. You can actually eat it. It doesn't taste like ice cream, but it's not bad for you. Swish your mouth with the coconut oil long enough, you can kill the pain. If you don't have coconut oil, you could use olive oil or other kinds of kitchen-based oils.
There you have it. An extra tip from A.J. Nicholas. Chip off the block. Just
because I've been there. I've been the struggling artist in the moment, just praying to God and wishing things would take a turn for the better. And I know how it feels to not have the answers. And I think more people should watch your show for the answers, number one. I think they should look outside of themselves for the answers, number two. And if you're someone out there that knows me from my past, I invite you to contact me via the internet. And I live very transparently. Even my own personal business numbers are right out there online. So you can contact me.
We're going to take this red wine and to show you, we're going to take the control sample. And we're going to just put some wine in here.
So that's what
now I'm not going to drink it. We're going to swirl it around. And you can look in the camera there, if we can get it in this camera. And there's no particular minute. Now, Adam needs to take some of the wine. I think you got some in the cup already.
Poured it. Okay. Provided by $2 Buck Chuck. We don't have sponsorship through them, but
we don't have sponsorship.
They've saved my tail a number of days.
Okay, swirl it around. Don't drink it.
Not drinking.
He's got to have 30 seconds of swirling this around in his mouth. Just keep swirling it around. And now you don't spit in the cup. We need to go in the other plate, which is completely clean. Nothing in it. Nothing up our sleeve. Take a good 30 seconds. The point is, this Magellan's disease, these things that are being infected into us through aerosol spraying in the skies, we're just going to repeat it and see if Adam's picked anything up. I'm scared to try it myself. I've been all over this country breathing the air. But maybe I'll do it secretly later. Okay, you ready? Okay, that's 30 seconds. Let's see what you got. Spit her out and see. Oh my gosh.
There's like a lot of junk in my mouth.
Oh, I don't know if you can see this stuff in there.
Oh, whatever it was.
I don't know if you can see this little stuff in there, but he pulled out a lot of stuff.
And I'll say I've
just
never,
like in the video.
Allow me to say something. I've never actually done this before, so this is actually my very first time ever doing something like this live.
Live.
So
you saw it. We repeated, got the same thing. Thank you, Mr. Max Bliss. A.J. Nicholas and I are bidding you a goodwill. I'm putting on the hat. And we go to the closing credits. Thank you. Watch the helicopter shooting the machine gun 60 feet above I-95 in Miami. See you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. But it was a private individual that got the machine gun fire over I-95.
Holy shit. Someone came by and I was filming up, taking some pictures. And then I just heard this machine gun fire, and I hit the deck. I didn't know what to expect, and it was one of the loudest things I ever heard. Holy shit.
In Miami, Florida, on tape. and they play it off as, oh, this is just military drill.
Take a look, swing back over here. This may be involved in this training or not. Again, let me tell you what all of this is that we know of. It's a joint military training exercise involving local police, also military. They're doing some training exercises partly to meet some of the requirements that they have to do, also to prepare for the military side for some overseas drills, and also so they can make sure that all of their equipment is in check. And
I say no. This report is being made to condition Americans to having military armed with real ammo flying overhead. This isn't right. This violates the federal law and the Constitution. Our military is not supposed to be flying and shooting even blanks 60 feet above traveling cars. Watch this. This is to condition us to what they're doing.
A drill. My team's Mike Marza has some pictures for us explaining what's going on. Mike? Still, if you've seen one of these drills, it really is. Some official boats with some lights flashing. Unclear on exactly where all of this is going down. We know it's in the greater Miami area, also Miami-Dade County, but police being pretty vague about where exactly they're doing all of this and also for how long. They do say that public safety is their #1 priority, so that's why you see a lot of this activity at night, and they want us to tell you that, again, it is just a military training exercise. But hey, if you happen to see some of this stuff going down, take some video, also take some pictures and send it our way. Send it to 7@WSVN.com. We want you to be safe while doing it. Live in downtown Miami, Mike Marza, 7 News, Night Team.
Holy shit.
Really? The police, he says, the police want us to tell you, and the police are vague. This is preparing you, conditioning you to not worry about military helicopters illegally, unlawfully flying over civilian cities in America. Just like when they burned Waco, that church for those Branch Davidians, and they wouldn't let the fire trucks in to shut the fire off because the military was doing, under Janet Reno, the Attorney General at the time, they're conditioning you to be abused by your own military and by foreign military. You ought to think about this long and hard. This isn't normal. This isn't the America I grew up in.